This one's touching 50. Have a look at that. That's such a good flathead. 50 centimetre flathead. G'day guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm out on the Port Acking River here to target some flathead on soft plastics. We're going to fish the back end of the run out tide into the run in tide here today and see what we can catch. I'm going to teach you guys what I'd like to do for those times and tides, and yeah, let's hope we catch a few. Here we go, take along for a ride.
You and I, you come and wake me every night. You say you miss the concept of you and I.
Breaking all the changes, I'm low and still going.
Yeah. Yeah. Good flathead, I think. Yep, good flathead. Whew! Good start to the morning. Alright, so first flathead of the morning, only took a couple casts to get it. Little perfect 36 centimetre flathead, nothing special right now, but still the first legal on the board and it's the first fish in the morning. I'm going to put this guy back, probably want him in the 40 centimetre range before I start thinking about having a feed of these guys. So quickly deal with him and put him back, hey? See you, bud. Yeah, another one. Feels like another decent one. Yeah, very decent one. That's another good one. Another 36 centimetre model. I would have thought it's the same fish, but there's no marks from where I previously hooked the last fish. But such a good little flathead on a Z-Man Grubs 1/6 ounce jig head. And yeah, that's number 2 for the morning in about 5 casts. So bit of a hot bite, hopefully. Let's put him back. Alright. See you, mate. Alright, so talk to you guys about gear, all that sort of stuff. Dial Gallus 702 1 to 2 kilo, 6 pound braid, J braid 8 strand. I've got, because again I'm targeting flathead, I've got 10 pound leader today. You can go a bit heavier. Water's not that clear. The viz is probably 2 meters of viz, so plenty of room to go heavier with your leader. Then I've got a 1/6 ounce Daiwa jig head on, bait junkie jig head, and I've got a Z-Man 3.75 inch grub, so a little bit bigger grub in bloodworm colour, because it is that sort of browny looking water today. You go with those natural browny colours, and yeah, just my personal preference for days like this. Conditions. We've got a nice northerly going to be blowing today. We've got low tide at 6:30, so we're going to change the tide around a sunrise or sunset. I'd like a long run out tide, that'd be really good, but you can't do much with what you've got. If you want to go fishing today and you've got a low tide at 6, you just fish it. Moon phase, we are heading into the new moon. So yeah, talking about moon phase, we're leading up to the new moon at the moment. So the fish tend to be a bit more active. Well, I think they're a little bit more active heading into that new moon phase, a couple of days before and a couple of days after it. So we should expect the fish to be biting. I'm not going to put the mocker on myself.
Where have you been? Did you see, did you hear, did you feel anything? In the world you're in the world you're in. Brutality Make it one, make it two, make it three times around. And they're suffering, yeah. We're counting down, tick tock, and the time is running out. No first class ticket, we'll save your head now. No, you're crashing down, no money that can buy your way out. Go ahead and try it, 'cause you've had.
Yeah, fish. Little flatty. Only a tiny little flatty, but it's another fish. Yeah. That's a good one. That's proper eat. You smoke that. Oh. Another little dusky flathead right on the edge of a sandbank. I'm just fishing these sandbanks on this running tide and they are just smacking them. Hopefully a bigger one comes past sometime soon, but still having an absolute ball with these guys. These are so much fun. Let's put him back. So mate, I guess something else that I don't talk to you guys about is I tie loop knots to all of my lures. I like a loop knot mainly because it just gives that lure that extra little bit of action. It doesn't swim as straight as I need it to be. You don't want it to really swim gun barrel straight when you're targeting flathead. You want it to sort of weave about and all that sort of stuff and move left and right, kink, all that sort of stuff. So that's why I always tie a loop knot. Loop knots are always, it's a strong knot. I've caught plenty of good fish on a loop knot. And if you're ever using plastics, I would highly recommend you to use a loop knot or learn to tie a loop knot. It will just increase your catch so much. So again, I'm fishing an edge of a sandbank. We've got a run-in tide right now. And so I'm just fishing right on the edge of the sandbank, casting it as shallow as I can and working it down the drop-off. So the flathead is sitting there waiting for the tide to be high enough for them to go up on the flats, have a swim around, look for any crustaceans, yabbies, all that sort of stuff on the flats, but it's not high enough right now for them. So I'm just casting right on those edges where they'll be sitting in wait for that high tide. Yeah, another one. Oh, this is a better one. Much better fish. Oh, get it out from there. That's a good one. That's definitely a good size one. That's what we're looking for. Alright, first good one for the morning. 45 centimetre flathead. Absolutely perfect. Right around a marker. Just turned and absolutely boofed it. So yeah, so happy with that. Look at that. Z-Man soft plastic right down the gullet. I'm going to keep this guy for a bit of tucker. I love eating flathead, especially fresh flathead. So I'm going to quickly deal with this guy and keep fishing. Yep. Another one. Second cast after catching that last one. Feels like another decent one. It is another very decent one. It's a very good one. Alright, up you come. Bring him around this side of the boat. There we go. Yeah, another floodie. This one's touching 50. Have a look at that. That's such a good flathead. 50 centimetre flathead. Absolutely walloped. The Z-Man grub, soft plastic. Second cast after catching that 45, bang, and 50 centimetre come along. So that's 2 in the keep K&K. Keep K&K. So good. So happy with that. Always check your leader. Yep, I've got a bit of chafe in my leader, so use a pair of braid scissors. Not your teeth like I have. And just retie your loop knot every time. Every time you catch a fish, whether it be a flathead or anything, always check your leader, especially around your knot. Making sure that it is still 100%. There's no nicks in it, anything like that. And if you have any doubt whether there's a nick or not, retie it. You're better off retying to give yourself that bit of security, bit of peace of mind, and yeah, keep going. Alright, so I sort of speak to you about where I caught those 2 fish. There's a sandbank right behind me, and then there's a weed edge that is in the very shallow water, and there's about 10 meters of weed there, and then there's sand again. So what I've done is position the boat right on the edge of the weed, and I just want to work it all the way along that edge of the weed, and I've caught 2, a 45 and a 50 centimeter flathead in roughly the same spot, probably about 20-30 meters apart from each other. So I'm just going to keep working this bank and all the weed edges all the way up to probably another 100-200 meters, and then either redrift or find a new spot. So we've got quite a strong wind blowing from behind now, which is helping with my cast distance. But yeah, you just got to work the electric motor if you've got one. If not, just use the wind to your advantage and drift across these banks. So yeah, let's keep going. Biggest key to fishing for flathead is making sure that you hit the bottom. You're in the right spots, you're on edges, weedy, sandy drop-offs, all that sort of stuff. If you're in the right spot, great. You gotta make sure you make lots of contact with the bottom when you're targeting flathead, because that's what they do. They'll sit there on the bottom, they'll bury themselves in the sand, waiting for fish to come over. They won't go searching, they'll wait for something to come over. So you need to make sure you're fishing with the right weight of jig head. Now that depends on wind, tide, current, and the depth you're fishing. And you take all those 3 into account, and then you choose your weight of jig head. So for general purposes, I'll normally fish 1/6 in about 3 meters of water. When I'm getting about 4 to 6, I'll go to a 1/4 ounce. But I've also fished very, very shallow water with 1/4 ounce jig heads, because the wind's really strong, and I just want the lure to actually hit the bottom and make sure that it's hitting the bottom at all times. So it's the biggest thing, just making sure that your lure is hitting the bottom. Oh, good fish. Good flathead. I'll take this very lightly. I can't see the lure. I've backed my drag right off. I can't see the lure, and I've got him. Woo! That's another good one. Look at that one, another really good fish. 47 centimeter flathead, absolutely perfect. Whacked it. It's turning out to be a really, really good session on some good sized flathead. And it just goes to show that you don't always need to run out tide and all those sort of conditions to be able to catch some really, really good fish. You just need to know where to target them and how to target them. So yeah, I'm gonna deal with this guy, put him in the esky and keep fishing. Woo! Alright, well, what an episode that was. It turned out to be an absolute pearler of a day and really, really good fishing. As you can see, I only spent probably 2 hours out here today, and how you can work your tides when they're probably not at the best time to catch flathead. You can still work them really well and still catch a lot of fish, as long as you know where to target them. So hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all learned something from it. Don't forget, go to 7seasapparel.com.au to get yourself a fishing jersey made of recycled material. Really, really good. SPF as well, so protect you from the sun in summer. Great time to go get yourself a nice fresh fishing jersey. Use code Lunatic10 to get yourself 10% off as always. And don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.